It's a typical country breakfast. Fried beets and sausage with garlic for a garnish.
Still you remain. It is a wonder you have managed to live so long.
The headstone carver stares at you and then goes back to work. You tell Igor about your adventures since your last visit. Igor listens while he works, but doesn't comment.
Igor very happy. Little graveyard humor there. Oh, Igor not hear rumors. Igor not know Olga's husband run off years back. Nobody tell rumors to Igor. Guild there. Burgomeister got key. Cemetery east of town. Major tourist attraction. Oh, bad place. No go near. You be very sorry you go near.
He looks at you and then goes back to work. There's only a certain amount of punishment your body can stand on any given day. Enough pain, enough gain for now. Try again tomorrow. After some rest, you feel better. After some rest, you feel better.
Ah, you're just in time to witness a magnificent scientific experiment. I have managed to harness the very primal force of lightning at my beck and call. Now I shall use it to create life itself. Watch this. That was not quite the experimental result I expected. But never mind that. It is merely a momentary setback in the annals of science. I shall readjust the magnetic electrical stimulation system and try again another day.
You say hello to the scientist.
It is good to see you again. I trust the Antwerps gave you no trouble?
You tell Dr. Cranium about your first adventures in the Spielberg Valley. He seems vaguely interested in your tales of the Baron and his children, but his eyes positively light up when you mention the Antwerp.
Ah, so you are the Spielberg hero. I went there on an Antwerp gathering expedition a few months ago. The people there are still talking about your adventures.
You continue by telling Dr. Cranium of your encounters with the eccentric wizard Erasmus, the deadly kobold magic user, and the ogress Baba Yaga.
Turned her into a frog? Oh, such poppycock. There is a perfectly straightforward scientific explanation for all of those events. There is no such thing as magic.
You start to tell Dr. Cranium about yourself and your adventures, but he quickly interrupts.
But there is nothing so adventurous as pursuing a career in science. Did you know, for instance, that simple scientific principles can be applied to the creation of potions for healing and curing poison? Oh, I have been better. The failure of my MESS was a shocking experience, I can tell you. Understanding and harnessing the power of nature is just one aspect of science. By observing and performing experiments based on the observations, the scientist increases our understanding of the world around us. If you want to improve your stamina, then you should make sure you eat a healthy diet from all the different food groups and get plenty of aerobic exercise. That is science. Here you are, one freshly brewed healing drink. Sip it if you get hurt, and its beneficial vitamins and other ingredients will help your body to recover quickly. Here you are, one freshly brewed universal poison antidote.
You ask Dr. Cranium if he can spare an empty flask for specimen collection.
Of course, of course. I am always delighted to assist scientific research of any kind, and I have plenty of flasks. You may have this one. Experiments are the meat and drink of science. First, you must come up with a hypothesis based on your understanding of the scientific elements. Then perform an experiment to test the hypothesis. Afterwards, you have a pizza. Oh, this is a sad, ignorant land where everyone seems to think more of magic than of science. Still, it is a good place for a scientist to work. There are many fascinating monsters to study, and I can get all the dead bodies I need. Antwerps are a truly fascinating species. They reproduce by splitting into a number of tiny Antwerps, each with their own genetic code. They cannot split voluntarily, however. They only reproduce when cut or stabbed. My test Antwerps came from Spielberg Valley, where there was an Antwerp population explosion last spring. I have come to the conclusion that lightning is electrical in nature, which would put it in the realm of fire. Fortunately, there have been an increasing number of storms here lately, so I have been able to harness some of the lightning and store it for experimental use. I am convinced that the primal force of life is electrical in nature. Of course, it must also involve water for life, and pizza, without which life would be boring. My neighbor Nikolai is not actually as old as he now appears. He has been very unhappy since his wife's disappearance some 15 years ago. I can understand his disappointment. She never brought me back the berries I needed for an experiment.
You say goodbye.
Oh, it is always a pleasure to have one such as you visit.
Dr. Cranium has an orderly personality, so he likes to arrange things in tables. Better table that idea for now. Dr. Cranium likes to stay ahead of his competitors.
I am truly sorry, but I cannot afford to make this a lending library at this time. You may look at my books here all you like, but you may not take them with you.
It's a beaker full of eyes, and they all seem to be looking at you. Glass globes of unknown intent hang in nets from the ceiling. Some sort of complicated scientific experiment is going on here. Could it be the quest for the perfect cup of tea? It hasn't finished brewing yet. Great tea takes time. It looks like a giant boiler. The chain attached to it looks like it activates some sort of release valve. You try a couple of quick pulls on the chain. You're not at all sure what you've started, but it's definitely enough to make you nervous. A contraption looking nothing quite so much as a giant ray gun points towards the operating table. Now wait just a second. There's no such thing as a ray gun in Mordavia, is there? These are bottles of chemicals Dr. Cranium uses in his experiments. Even mad scientists' labs need fireplaces to keep warm in this climate.
Perhaps I should wait a day or two before resuming my Frankie experiment. It is very important that the right person stay in charge here.
You greet the old man.
We have met before, I think. I am Nikolai. Have you met my Anna? She is... well, I do not know where she is. I am looking for her. Yes, well, I keep looking for Anna. Will you help me find her? She's missing. Anna has been gone for a long time. I have been looking for her for so very long. I do not know what has become of my Anna.
You say goodbye.
If you see Anna, tell her I am looking for her. Still you remain. It is a wonder you have managed to live so long. What is it you want? This town was quiet until you arrived. I am keeping my eye on you. Castle Borgov is north of the town. The last of the Borgov family left this valley years ago. Now it is inhabited by some cousin. The people of the castle do not bother this town. I suggest strongly that you do not bother the people of the castle. It used to be that the only monsters around here were the occasional wyverns. Now there are many dangerous things in the valley. It is safe only within the town gates. Dr. Cranium is an idiot and a madman. If you are wise, you will stay away from him. Nikolai is an old man and easily confused. His wife has been missing for years now. He cannot face the fact that she is gone. Try not to make a nuisance of yourself.
Hello? Do you have any news? So, you haven't been eaten yet. We'll see how long you last traipsing about everywhere when you should be staying in this nice, safe town.
Tell Olga about what you've been doing in Mordavia.
And be sure and keep me informed. I need to know everything that goes on around here. Someone's got to have a clue after all. What would you like to know about? Yuri hasn't been the same since his daughter was stolen away 2 years ago. Gypsies took her, I told him so. Never listens to me, though. He's not doing much business at the inn either, except for those lazy excuses for farmers that hang out there, and an occasional visitor. He'd go broke. The Borgovs used to live in the castle north of town. The last Borgov was said to have disappeared under suspicious circumstances. However, no one seems to know just what happened to him. Vampires, is it? There's talk that those strangers up in Castle Borgov are never seen by day and can't abide the smell of good old garlic. If you are going to do any wandering outside town, make certain you have some garlic with you, just in case. You know, old Nikolai has been crazy for years. Never could get over the loss of his wife, Anna. It has been years since Anna has been gone, before I even was married. Lost in the woods she was, and eaten by something terrible, so it said. Oh, they were such a happy couple. Now Nikolai's just crazier than a chicken with its head cut off. Yeah, my sad departed husband. His name was Boris. Gone 3 years now. He was such a good man. This isn't such a bad place to settle down, you know. You could easily earn a living farming here. That certainly has more job security than adventuring, after all.
You tell Olga that the gatekeeper's name is Boris Stovich and ask if they're related.
Aha! So that's where the so-and-so went. Huh? Tell him he's a rotten no goodnik. You take care. Don't want to see your funeral. You hate that walk to the cemetery. As my lost husband used to say, may all your travels lead somewhere.
What now? What do you want from me this time?
You tell the Burgomeister what you're trying to do in Mordavia.
You are a good talker, I'll grant you that. If you do half the things they say you will do, then I'll be very surprised. Why are you always so curious about things? Don't you understand? Most things are none of your business. Never have I met someone who asks as many questions as you do. The problem with adventurers' guilds is that they attract adventurers. Adventurers tend to stir up trouble. I hope you will not cause trouble around here. More sightseeing? Well, there was a lovely lake to the southwest of town that used to be very popular among young people, but I do not know what it's like now. To the east is the town cemetery. It is a morbid thing to visit, but tourists always wanted to see it when tourists were able to come here. To the southeast is Irana's garden. It is an enchanted meadow well worth visiting. However, Mordavia has become a very dangerous place since the swamps were formed. Do not ever travel at night. If you are far from town when it gets dark, try to make it to Irana's garden. It's the only place where you will be safe. I do not really want anything to happen to you. Be careful. Irana was a powerful magic user who was rumored to have come from somewhere near Mordavia. Her garden is supposed to be magical and keep anyone who stays there safe from harm. Irana died here many years ago. Her staff in the center of town stands as her memorial. It is supposed to protect the town from evil and to have other magic besides. It is bad luck to speak of her death. If you must know, she died in that cave you say you came from. I'm not a superstitious man, but I will not talk more about the subject. I have been hearing all sorts of stories about you lately. No one is certain what to make of you. Yet. Be careful out in the forest. It can be very dangerous there. Try to avoid getting into trouble. I would not like to have you in my jail, after all.
Welcome again to the gates of the Castle Borgov. I hope that you've been enjoying your visit to Mordavia. I am happy to know you're finding your way in Mordavia. I'm sure you will find this a most exciting place to visit.
You tell Boris what Olga said about him. He blushes.
Olga was always opinionated. I grew tired of listening to her complain about me all the time. You have been very lucky so far in Mordavia. May you never meet something you cannot handle. My wife has been gone for many years now. I am very sorry, but I can only open this gate by the command of the master. The master seldom leaves the castle and has few guests. I do not know if anyone at the castle is named Katrina. My house is just inside the gates, and I seldom see anyone from the castle. Since the last boyar passed away many years ago, the castle has been uninhabited until recently. Now it is owned by the master, who is also my employer. It is not a bad job. I am paid well and on time. Be careful in your travels. You never know what you may meet. Good luck, and may your feet move faster than the thing that chases you.
Your magical lasso floats towards the tree and plucks a single ripe fruit from its branches.
Gotcha.
1 and 2 and 3 make 6. Who hides her hut behind trick sticks? Magic message. Bushes here. In the rhyme with disappear.
You take a wild guess. It's Dr. Cranium.
Of a once proud race, you're what remains? Where were you when they passed out brains?
After some rest, you feel better. You are in the far southeastern corner of the forest. Further passage is blocked by bushes on all sides except the north. These bushes look as though someone planted them here deliberately. You don't notice anything special there? A huge old gnarled oak nestles a large rock under its roots as if it were hatching an egg. An ancient dried corpse hangs from its boughs. It's a dead body, artistically laid out for maximum shock effect. Actually, it just happened to fall in that position, but please don't tell anyone. There's no response from the dead body, of corpse. The nearest skull is fixed in a perpetually sour expression. One eye socket is empty, the other filled with a brilliant gem, like the flare of the frost flame. You're sure you've seen this skull and that gem somewhere before. Skulls line the pathway to a most peculiar chicken-legged hut. There can't be many like it. This must be Baba Yaga's hut, last seen in Spielberg.
Go back, or face thy doom. Hey, wait a second. Don't I know you from somewhere? Yeah, you're the guy that turned Baba Yaga into a frog. So what are you doing here? Trying out for the part of soup du jour or auditioning for the main course? Yeah. Good to see me again, I know. So what do you want? She's back to her old self, if you knows what I mean. Other than a craving occasionally for flies and a distaste for frog legs, she's the same as ever. Call me Bonehead. I'm just hanging around like always. Danger? Around here? Nah, must be your paranoia acting up again. This place is as cozy and safe as a coffin. You can see for yourself that the hut's okay. Took it a bit to settle down from the last flight, though. You mean the hut of brown now sit down sort of thing the last time you was by? Well, that don't work anymore. Just go up to the hut and it'll squat and let you in, if it wants you in. My eye? Not bad at all. I has to admit, you gave me a real gem. Don't remind me. I thought I was gonna be left behind when the hut flew the coop, but Baba Yaga picked me up later. You sure made her mad. See you around.
Skulls line the pathway to a most peculiar chicken-legged hut. There can't be many like it. This must be Baba Yaga's hut, last seen in Spielberg.
Don't come back unless you got a reason to be here.
After some rest, you feel better. 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 A ghostly figure floats near the center of this clearing.
Hello. Can you help me? I seem to be lost.
You tell her you will help her.
Thank you. I'm just trying to find my way home. Can you show me the way to town?
Searching for the fallen beast, you find nothing of value, unless you were planning to start a flea circus.
There you are. What happened to you? I thought you were going to show me the way to town. Please don't talk so. It's bad luck to speak of the dead.
The ghostly apparition vanishes.
I don't understand. Every time I try to follow you, I find myself here again. Why can't I leave this place? Why can't I go home? I can't remember. I can't even think of my own name. What's wrong with me? Every time I try to go anywhere, I keep returning here. Why am I so lost? Everything is so hazy when I try to think of things. It's like trying to look at things far, far away. I should be able to remember my own home, shouldn't I? No, no, it can't be, no!
The ghostly apparition vanishes.
I remember now. I was walking home. Something started to chase me. I tried to run. Something knocked me over and everything went black. I'm dead, aren't I? I really can't go home again. I'm just a ghost. Forgive me my manners. It's just that I'm not used to the idea that I'm dead. My name was Anna. I can remember things now, but everything is like a faded dream. It seems so strange to think of myself as a ghost. Everything is blurry. There's no day or night, only the shadowy landscape. I want to go from here, but I cannot leave. I can only wait. I can remember my house now. I lived beside the tall oak tree near the center of town. I've been gone so long. My poor, poor Nikolai. Goodbye and farewell.
The ghostly apparition vanishes.